Hey guys, welcome to the Nocturn booth, SHOT Show 2025. I'm going to run you guys through some of our new products this year. So what I have here is the Talon monocular. Basically, this is our replacement for the PVS-14. It basically encompasses everything the PVS-14 has. For the Talon R, we're encompassing it in a 7075 T6 aluminum, and then the Talon molded will be a ruggedized nylon polymer with a long carbon fiber fill. What I have here is the 7075 Talon R. Basically, single control scheme. This does your power, your gain control, and your IR illuminator. On board, we also have indicators for both your illuminator and your low battery. It's a standard plug-in EGAC for a 11769 image intensifier. We also have a through via for a solderable third middle pin for European-style 11769 tubes. It comes standard with a CR1238 battery cap. However, you can change it out for a CR2 or a AA battery cap on the fly. Simply pull it off the lanyard, screw on whatever battery you'd like to use, put the lanyard back on, and you're good to go. A couple other things we got going on here. Sister binocular, this is the Raptor binocular. This one's going to go straight into an injection molded material. If you look here, you can see that the lower half of the binocular is shared with the Talon. Basically, that allows you to go between the two seamlessly. The Raptor, being a similar platform to the Talon, allows plug and play, same thing for the 11769 style image tubes. A single control knob as well on the front. Interchangeable battery caps in a similar scheme to our Manicore series, where you can go between a CR138 standard, AA or AAA cap. It also comes with onboard external power for extended runtime. Another feature to note here, and this is purely due to user feedback, on this system we've moved away from our patented friction slip IPD design to a more traditional knob style design to allow for hard stop on the IPD. However, being that we moved away from it initially with the knobs being on the side due to a snag hazard and often them breaking off in use, we moved the knobs to the back side of the device to allow for a more low profile design, but still give the users what they wanted. Going between these two systems here, the Raptor and the Talon monocular, basically in order to interface between the two, the lower pod takes 4 screws. Simply unscrew them, unplug your EGAC or plug it back in, close it up, tighten your 4 screws, and you're good to go. Just to note that going between the two systems, you will lose purge. I would highly recommend you have a dealer or somebody mechanically inclined doing that swap, or at least somebody knowledgeable in the systems. Last year at SHOT Show 2024, we introduced the Alpha mount here. Between then and now, it's gone through several internal iterations, trying to tackle some of the problems mainstream with mounts on the market nowadays, such as wobble and tolerance issues, fitment between a mount and a shroud. We've tackled a couple of these issues in unique ways. On this mount, it features a lockout in both the stowed and deployed positions, featured on the side here. Going between the stowed and deployed positions, you'll feel a force overcome ball detent. That mechanism basically eliminates wobble in the arm due to wear over time. Everything else on the mount is what you're used to. As far as helmet mounts, you have both vertical and horizontal adjustment as well as pitch angle. One differentiation between our mount and others in the market, we added a bit of extended travel in the horizontal, about 1.65 inches of travel, and then 1.2 in the vertical. In addition to that, one of the unique features of the Alpha mount, from the factory we'll be offering 2 versions, an unpowered version, which is what you'd see here, and then a powered version, which will use these through vias to deliver power to a device enabled with such a powered shoe. A couple other things to note here. So in the back we have rubber bumpers. This is to basically eliminate wobble between manufacturers, different shrouds and this mount, the way they interface to allow for a more snug fit. So on the back of the Alpha mount, you'll see rubber bumpers featured on the back here. Basically, this top one, this bar across the top, is sealed from the factory. However, these little ones down here are removable, so if you feel your lockup is good without them, feel free to run it that way. However, if you do feel like you have some shift between the two components, you can add them back in to eliminate that wobble. One of the things to note with the Alpha mount here is we were able to shave off about 3 ounces. To put that in perspective, this mount comes in at about half the weight of many of the popular mounts out there currently on the market. All that at a price of $430 MSRP. All right, guys, if you want to learn more about Nocturn Industries, head over to nocturnindustries.com. And I'm going to hand it over to Jeff to talk more about the Chimera.
Hey guys, Jeff with Nocturn Industries. So you guys have seen me in the past. So we're going to talk about our panoramic goggles here. So you guys are already familiar with our bridge system, which is the Chimera bridge system. It's an adapter for the fixed bridge panoramic goggles. There's a couple different on the market. This one's the GPME G18. It's articulating. That's the big thing that this allows you to do. We've done a lot of improvements to this. Right now we have a ball detent system that locks us in the up and down position. This is particularly designed for jumping out of aircraft, so when you pull a chute, these will stay upright and not slam down on you. This has been tested and jumped many times. It works quite well. There's also a battery on board. There's an option for that now. There's the original version, which is, you have to plug a battery pack in. It's lighter weight, and there's a power button on board, just like the GPME G18 bridge. And it's a simple swap. You pull a screw out, you pull the original pod off of your old bridge, you put the new pod on the new bridge, and now you have an articulating panoramic goggle. For those of you that aren't familiar with this, the reason that we did that is when it's on the mount, on your helmet, it's very front heavy. If you stow them, it's more compact, it's less of a snag hazard, it pulls the center of gravity back, which makes using the product much more comfortable. You can wear it for a longer period of time. There's a second important part of that is when you're in a vehicle or going through buildings or something, you can stow them in this position, which is lower than the top of the helmet. And they shut off when you stow them upright. And if you need to use them with like if you have a magnified optic or a thermal optic or something, you can still utilize your non-dominant eye at the same time. And if you're driving in a vehicle, you can activate and you can bring them down, and then you can stow them easily, and they'll shut off when you stow them up. It gives you more headroom inside of a vehicle. So a lot of you are familiar with that. You're already aware of that. We have this available for the Lindu QTMEG and for the Anvis 10. And eventually both powered and non-powered will be available for all of the different versions we offer. Now we have our full panoramic goggle system that we've been promising. It's been over 2 years in development. We have been basically waiting on optics this whole time. Now that we finally have optics, we're able to move forward and go into production with the system. The original that we showed had an Anvis 10 on the back just as a proof of concept. This is now the fully complete system. We've completely redesigned all of this to make it easy to assemble, to bring costs down, and to make this a more user-friendly and lighter weight goggle. So, same bridge. You can use either bridge system. It's the GPME G18 shoe, so if you already have GPME G18s and you have this bridge, you'll be able to buy just the pods and put it on the bridge. Why you'd want to do that is the housing price is much lower than, you can't buy the GPME G18 housing on its own, but you could put 18 millimeter image tubes in here of any kind, blue, green, different brands, L3, Elbit, Photonis, whatever. And it uses PVS 14 optics on the front side. So the objective, you can collimate with standard PVS 14 optics, and then the eyepiece will obviously come with it. So as optics improve, you can change the optics. As image tubes improve, you can change the image tubes. On the eyepiece side, we're using RPO 4.0 eyepieces. So because those are standard 14 optics and they're already in production, it brings cost down where we didn't have to do a special design other than having to truncate it and make a special housing for it. That allows us to save you guys money and get you into panoramic goggles at a much lower price. So the housing with the bridge and everything and complete with optics, no image tubes, it's ready for image tubes, is going to be $8,500. So that means you're going to start roughly at $15,000, which is what we advertised before. We're able to hold that price. That's where we're sitting right now. The optics came in within budget, so we're pretty excited and stoked about that. And just to prove to you guys that these actually work, you can look through the back here, and he'll probably put something over the screen here so that you guys can see that functioning. But these do function. There's an improvement in optics over the original GPME G18, whereas those of you that use them, you see a line between the two images. The way the optics blend in this, you get less of a line. There's less vignetting, so the image is more uniform across. And the optics are obviously a newer, more modern optic. The GPME G has been around for a long time. Very good system. We're actually struggling to get the weight down below what the pods of the GPMVG are. They've done a very good job in developing that, especially for how old of a goggle it is. So the improvement really is in the optics and the image tubes, the ability to upgrade tubes as you go, and obviously the price savings. So this is here. It will be available this year for real. I know I said that before, and I'm gonna get hate for that, but the holdup was optics, and now that we have actual optics, we'll be able to go into production with these. It was originally going to be aluminum. I know people are going to ask that. We are going to an injection mold. And before I get the material we're using is the same as what we're using on the new molded katana, the new Raptor, the new Talon, and the molded Manticore. That material is slightly stronger than 6061 T6 aluminum. We have pushed our drop testing standard to 6 feet on a concrete surface, and we do 12 drops. It's 6 drops with the pods folded in on a bino and 6 drops with the pods folded out, and each drop is each degree of freedom. So front, back, top, bottom, left, right. That far exceeds the standard for night vision. That actually exceeds the firearm standard as well. During marketing, during filming, marketing informed me that they actually dropped the katana over 50 times. And then we actually sent that to you guys, and you guys did your whole thing with that. And you observed there was almost no damage to that. And it's robust. It's a very good material, and that material will be used in this. That will keep the weight down, it will keep ruggedness up. And with panoramic goggles, you want the weight as low as possible, but we don't want to sacrifice durability and reliability of the system. So if it weren't able to handle, the panoramic goggle itself with that material, we would switch back to aluminum. But right now, that's where we're going, and it will be available this year. Injection molding takes time because of making tooling. The initial ones will be machined, but the actual production units are roughly 6 to 8 months to go from start to finish with an injection mold, with iterations in between to fix issues in the mold and stuff like that. So that's what you guys can expect. I'm hoping we can come in sooner with that, but I'm trying to sandbag it a little bit so you guys aren't mad at us when I say, oh, it'll be out in 3 months and it doesn't come out for a year. Yeah. But we don't want that. So this is real, it's happening. I'm glad everybody's been patient and waiting for it. And those of you asking about manual gain, yes, there will be a manual gain version of it in the future. We will have that. I would say probably next SHOT Show we'll have that. It takes time to develop this stuff. But thank you guys for all of your support. Thank you for supporting Thin Line Defense. These guys are awesome, and if you haven't seen their other videos, go check their other videos out as well.